how'd you feel when you learned that Ronaldinho video was fake?
It's fake.
That video took like 2-3 hours just to fully load so I could watch it. I swear to God.
So you took a lot of inspiration from Ronaldinho. That's kind of like how your playing style developed.
That's how I played.
I feel like you got more satisfaction megging someone than you did scoring.
I remember I used to count how many megs I had in the game. I swear. I used to be like, yeah, I scored 2 goals, I got 3 megs.
So then how many times did you tear your ACL?
I tore it twice, but I had to get one done again because it got loose. I know this one time I was gonna go to this was my last try I was gonna go to. It was Slammers. I was in the parking lot and I was just contemplating. I was just like, there's no point. The same shit's gonna happen again.
I want to ask you, like, why did we start this? Because ultimately we started this because of you.
To sum it up, it's to help myself as a kid, basically.
Right. Okay, look, listen, look at this. Okay, so my video, all right? Okay, wait.
Part of getting better is recognizing your weakness and being honest with yourself and working on those weaknesses. Too many people know that they have a weakness and they don't work on it because they're too embarrassed to work on it. It doesn't feel good working on it. Okay, that's part of it. Left foot shooting right.
Okay, right? That's what I said. And somebody commented, completely disagree. Double down on your strengths. They are what make you you and set you apart. Individual who is well-rounded doesn't have any strength. You should be a 5-pointed star whose points reach far beyond anyone else's because you doubled down on your skills. A great team is then formulated by overlaying teammates to fill the gaps. And then he goes on to tag his thingy. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't know. I think people think one way is the right way.
Yeah.
Why can't you focus on one day on the strengths and then the other day on the weakness? You know, like I know Kobe, for example, RIP, he worked on every little aspect to the game so he can perfect his craft.
Right.
Like he didn't just focus on, oh, I'm a good 3-point shooter, so I'm just gonna focus on my threes. Like
for me, it's like it's such an extreme point of view going at it like that. It's like I completely disagree. You know, it's like because to me it's this. Understand who we're speaking to. Are you going to tell a middle schooler to not work on his weaknesses because he needs to fully focus on the strengths?
Right.
No, like, bro, at that age, you need to develop your weaknesses and maybe they become a strength.
Yeah.
Even like for me going into UCI, going into college, like I wouldn't say that I would consider my first touch to be a weakness of mine. It was a weakness. And I was told that by the head coach, like you need to work on your first touch. So if I just stuck to my strength and neglected my weakness, then it was like, okay, then at some point when you start reaching higher levels, your weaknesses are going to hinder you from getting like developing, or I mean from like reaching those higher levels. So I understand what that comment is coming from. I understand what you mean by that. You ultimately, when you play, you want to rely on your strengths.
Right.
But if you have weaknesses, which I was saying, as a forward for me, my left foot shooting is a weakness of mine because it's not as good as I want it to be. If I start developing it now, what makes like yes, I think I have a good right foot, but if I start developing my left foot, now I can start cutting to my left more, finishing.
Yeah.
Isn't that going to make me a lot better of a player?
Of course.
Yeah. So it's like, no, I know I have a player who plays next to me who has a good left foot. I'm not just going to pass it to him.
Yeah.
He'll start shooting on his left foot. No.
Yeah.
I got to be able to do my part. So I don't know. I saw that comment. 'Cause I think that comment came today.
Yeah, it did. I read it in the morning too. I was like, ugh. Like, I saw one side. Like,
it's too. And that's the thing. It's too extreme.
Yeah.
Too extreme of a view.
I think like they're coming from the mindset of like that phrase where like jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
right.
Where like a lot of people like look down upon that because like yeah, you're all rounded, but you're never a pro at anything. You never master anything. So it's better for you to just train on one single attribute or trait instead of
But yeah,
diving your.
it's understandable. I get that. It's
yeah.
like Raf said, it's the audience we're talking to.
Yeah, and it's like the video. I didn't say work on your weaknesses until it's as good as your strength, one of your strengths. Like no, I said you recognize a weakness. Some people don't want to work on that weakness because they're too embarrassed or they doesn't feel good. No, like,
Yeah, they
dude,
just sold it off on me.
our nephew, our little nephew, he's how is he? 12?
12.
He's 12 years old. Am I gonna tell him not to work on his left foot because he needs to just develop the right foot until it's crazy? No, work on your left foot now. It's a weakness of yours. I know it doesn't feel good, but it'll eventually start getting a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
So I gotta tell him to work on his weak foot.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell him that I know that his strength is his distribution and just focus on his right foot distribution only. No, dude, that's gonna hinder him later when he's older, when it's harder to develop it when he's older.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I thought I would bring it up because I saw it this morning and I was like, dude,
There's always haters on the internet.
my gosh.
You've had a bunch of them.
And yeah. So I thought I would address it on the pod rather than address it in comments.
So we're gonna clip this and tag.
Yeah. All right, guys. Welcome back to an episode of with the Without a Doubt podcast. I got my co-host here. He's originally behind the camera, but now he's blessing us by being in front of the camera. Uli Abundis. No. Uli Abundis.
Abundance.
Abundance. Uli was on the pod.
What's up, guys? It's my first time being in front of the camera. So, yeah.
How's it feel?
It feels so different being in front of the camera, behind the camera. I don't know where to look. I don't know. Fuck, oh my god, damn. Look at mic. Fuck. Yeah.
It's okay. So and then the guest went from being the host of the pod to now being the guest of the pod. Miguel Espinoza, aka Michael, aka Mike's, aka Dino, aka my brother, aka my best friend. What else can we say? Aka co-founder of Without a Doubt.
Coach Miguel.
AKA Coach Miguel. Welcome to the pod, dude.
Thank
As
you.
the guest. How's it feel being a guest?
It was good. It's my first time getting interviews.
Yeah.
Well, I interviewed a podcast, so
Yeah.
it's good.
All right. So, again, the point of these podcasts is to get this. Well, to begin with, is try to get everyone our audience to learn about the team, the Without a Doubt team. So this is the last.
Second to last, we're still got Uli.
Really?
Yeah.
We're doing Mavs?
Yeah, we got Uli.
All right.
Okay, we got.
That's cool.
He's a good
Yeah.
He did play soccer too, so.
Okay.
For a little bit.
We gotta do Yuli. Okay, so this is the second to last interview from our team. After that, we're trying to get other guests on, but the whole point of this is just again for our audience to get to know us and get to know the team, get to know our stories. We all have a background playing soccer, so we'll get to your story, dude. I know a lot about you. You're my brother, of course. Grew up together, but tell us, in your perspective, what was our upbringing like? Like, what was our upbringing from the day you were born to
I was
10 years old?
I was a premature.
Pretty much.
Yeah, how many months in?
7 months, dude.
7 months. Damn. So he's a preemie, so he should have been like 6'5".
Yeah,
6 months.
Instead, he's opposite 5'6".
No.
Short king.
Didn't we agree I was 5'7.5"?
Yeah, 5'7". Yeah, we did.
Round it up to
We rounded
5'8".
up to 5'8".
Yeah.
So I'm 5'8".
So
So us growing up,
yeah, just from like the age, and then you can go like however you want it. It can be like how in depth you want to get into. I mean, of course, I'll probably pause you at some point, but any like highlights from that, yeah.
us growing up. Well, we grew up in this apartment structure, our apartment complex with a bunch of friends around our age, a little older, a little younger, but we're all similar to age. Yeah, soccer came in our lives. I think for me it came kind of late. I think I was about like 8 or 9 when I started like actually playing with the homies, and then you were young, so you obviously did what we were doing, and you would join us. And yeah, we would just play street soccer, a lot of street soccer, and the laundries where you talked about in your episode. So if you guys want to know about that, you could check Rafa's out.
Laundromat days.
The laundromat days. And yeah, we played street soccer in the laundromat. It's basically like a futsal court, honestly. We had like the wall where we did 1-2s with the wall, like just by instinct. I know growing up, I didn't really like. Internet was super slow, so we had this thing called Net Zero, and so boom, like I think one of our friends in our apartment, she told me about Ronaldinho, about like, oh, he's a baller. He showed me a video at his house. I was like, wow, he's freaking good. So I go to our house, go to Net Zero, dude. You guys probably don't know because you guys are younger than me. Slow as dude, it took like 2 hours just for the Ronaldinho video. You know the one when he puts the golden boots and he hits crossbar?
Yeah.
Dude, that video took like 2-3 hours just to fully load so I could watch it. I swear to God.
No way.
That's how old I am.
Was that on YouTube or
Yeah, YouTube.
really?
Early YouTube.
You want to show the audience?
Yeah.
yourself?
My idol.
Damn.
That's clean.
That's why AKA Dino.
So nah, that's not why they call me Dino, because of my tat.
No, but God. We'll get into it.
Yeah. No, but yeah. And I feel like just watching videos like that, for some reason, I developed those tricks. So it was never like doing ball mastery or doing, because we didn't know about that growing up.
Yeah.
So all of that, it's just, as you saw it, and then we just did it. We implemented it on the field, and we just got good at it. And then,
I want to say real quick. I think that like that's so funny because I think it like we said in my episode that that time there really developed us as players,
Right.
you know. And I think again we had nobody was there who has prior experience. Like nobody in our family had history of playing soccer or anything like that. We didn't have friends who came from soccer families. It was just like we learned it ourselves, and what we saw we tried to emulate or whatever. But for me, because I was so much younger than everybody else, it's crazy because you developed that style of like, you know, kind of like just like Brazilian type of style. Yeah, like it was like more like tricks, more like more like fancy, I would say.
Yeah.
And for me, I was trying to compete against older guys, so I had to like play a little bit harder. I had to be like
simple,
I had to like play simple. I had to like be a little bit rough.
Yeah, we did not have the same play style.
So me, like, it's crazy because I really think that during that time it really developed our playing style. Like, cause you were like the fancier kind of player, and I was more of like the hardworking, get into bodies type of player. And I think that's because of how we grew up. Like, you were able to do all that fancy footwork against me, and I had to like do something like to counter it. So I had to like crack you or something.
Yeah, it was so unfair for you because there's times it was olders against the youngers. We always bullied you guys, but I feel like that's how you learn.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. You weren't scared of playing against older players because you've experienced it.
Yeah. No, but yeah. Okay, so how'd you feel when you learned that Ronaldinho video was fake?
It's fake?
When'd you learn? Like at what age? Like
That was fake?
that was fake.
Just rang down, bro.
Just rang down.
No, I mean, obviously,
You thought it was real when you saw it.
yeah, of course.
Everyone
Like,
did.
dude, it's the GOAT.
Yeah.
And it was Ronaldinho 2006, so 7 at the time. Bro, it's probably Ronaldinho.
Yeah.
You would have believed, you'd be like, yeah, it's Ronaldinho.
Yeah.
But I was young too. No, but yeah, where are we going with this?
Like, how'd you feel when you found out it was fake?
Oh, well, it was fake. Well, I mean, I saw you. Obviously, you see CGI, you see the green screen shit or whatever. So like, I was like, okay. Like later in life, you kind of figured, like, okay, maybe it's impossible to do that.
Can you tell it was green screen?
Well, I know they showed behind the scenes. Where I saw a video.
There's behind the scenes?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I gotta check that out.
Okay, so you took a lot of inspiration from Ronaldinho. That's kind of like how your playing style developed.
That's how I played. Later in life, I think I was about 10, 11. My friend tells me about AYSO. There's a recreational, then B11. I'm like, what? Like, we could join leagues and we could play
Yeah.
in teams? That's crazy. I didn't know that. And I think that same week, coincidentally, like at school, they give out little pamphlets about tryouts for AYSO Region 120, Costa Mesa. So yeah, I showed my mom. She wasn't down. I think Angel saw it too. And me,
My brother-in-law.
it's all family. They saw it, and I think that's when Angel was like, yeah, let's put them in.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I'm playing with the team. I think I'm not trying to be cocky, but I was probably the best one in there.
Yeah.
Every game I scored, I was a striker. I don't know why, but I played as a striker and I always scored. I was known as the best player in the team. It was obviously it's AYSO, so I started at the bottom, like there's different colored teams and play whatever. And then you get called up in All Stars, which is I got called up All Stars for a year or two, and then APP, which is like the best of the best in Costa Mesa and AYSO. So yeah, that was my soccer career. Literally, I never played club.
Well, I want to touch on like the reason why you didn't play club, like, or like the reason why like my mom or my parents were like not for you playing AYSO was because one, they didn't know anything about it. They're like completely ignorant.
I think it was a lot. Soccer.
And then two is like money. Like there was like when it came to even playing AYSO, which was probably not even that expensive. Like my parents are just like, oh, it's another cost. Like it's more money to be like away, like at that time it was like, dude, there's no money to just like put into something you had no idea about, like there's no spare money. So I think that's what like really like what made them like super like hesitant or just against that idea of you joining a league like that or something, or where they're having to pay out of pocket. So I think Angel, having him do that was like, he was like our biggest support system because he knew how much we loved it and he wanted to, and he played himself. So he knew that this is something that would be good for us. And I think even speaking to him now, I think his mentality more so was to get us out of trouble.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I think
we're always in the
we were just callejeros. We were like we're kids from the streets. We would like in my episode we spoke about it a little bit, but like we're always in the streets, always like around kids who we could have a bad influence on us. So I think for him, and it was smart to be honest, was that this was his way of like trying to get us to stay out of trouble. Sure. And it definitely did, I think. But okay, so during this time though, when you're playing and stuff and you realize you can, like you are in AYSO and all stuff and you're playing, you're enjoying yourself, is there any thought or idea of like, okay, I want to like do this like in the future, like I want to play professionally? Or
bro. I mean, for me, I feel like, oh, no matter what, I'm gonna go pro. Because just by the teams that I play with or the players I played against, there was no one like that I would consider better than me. Not maybe I was delusional, I don't know, but I just felt like
you're the best.
Yeah, I was the best. And in my head, I was always like, if I'm not the best, if I see someone, I'm gonna try to be better than him. Like I'm gonna try to beat him. Like I'm gonna show him. I'm gonna make him.
Yeah.
Show him. Like,
but see, that's okay. So that gets into your story a little bit later. But like you turned into that player. I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you turned into that player where I feel like you got more satisfaction making someone than you did scoring.
That was. No, I mean, because I did score too, so like,
okay,
they're both good, but like, no, yeah, dude, I was such a dickhead. I remember I used to count how many makes I had in a game. What? I swear, I used to be like, I scored 2 goals, I got 3 makes.
Like there was this.
No, it was so bad. Cause there's this kid, I remember this clearly. He went to my school, and we both played Sunday league in the same league in Santa Ana, and we were kids, so I was still playing with Cobras at the time. And we played against this team, he's center back. I told him I was gonna make him, and he's like, whatever. I made them. As I made them, I was like, make.
Make?
Yeah, literally, just make him make. Yeah. And then he got a little salty, but yeah, no, like that's how I was, bro. I was just douche. I think till this day when I do play, for some reason I have like this different alter ego that I just become like, I don't go fuck. Dude, you know me, like I'm like,
yeah, bleep all this.
Dude, I'm a pretty quiet guy. Like I'm shy, I'm really reserved, but when it comes to the game, bro, I'm just.
That's where like you show your true self.
Yeah, I chew out my teammates for not doing what they're doing, or what they're supposed to do. I chew out the ref, dude. The ref, I feel so bad for the refs. Because I'm always just like not cussing at them, but I'm just like, wow, bro, no wonder you ref here. Like, just little comments, bro. But it's not me. Like, it just comes out. It's not me. It's just that weakness. But no, yeah, bro.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think so. Do you think though that kind of like, because you're definitely passionate for the game, but do you think you kind of put your energy into like the wrong place
for sure?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes even when I'm coaching.
Yeah. So we'll get into your coaching, but so okay, so tell me so let's go into why didn't you play club?
Well, yeah, it was financially, and then I didn't know about scholarships or anything like that. I remember when I was playing with AYSO, with APP. I think we played in Irvine somewhere, and we beat them. And I think I scored like 2 goals or something. And this one guy comes up to me and this my other friend, and he's like, "Hey, like I saw you guys. You guys are really good. Here's my card." I gave it to me and him. He's like, "Give me a call. Like we're having tryouts next week." Da, 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 da. Well, okay. I didn't say anything. I went home. I went to my slow ass Note Zero computer. I go on strikersfc Irvine or something.com, and I see him like, oh, it's an academy. That's cool. First thing I go pricing, see how much it is. They at the time they had like their prices. It was like 1,000 plus or something. I was like, oh yeah, no, it's not gonna happen. So I didn't even bother bringing it up to my parents or anyone. So I had an opportunity to go try with Strikers.
But you just,
But I just blew it off. Like I was like,
yeah. I think our upbringing, we really, my parents are really transparent with their financial issues or financial situation, and I think a lot of our, even now,
we
like,
just don't want to be a burden to them. Like they're already going in through like enough financially as it is, so we don't want to
add to that. Yeah, so I think, that was that, like, I can relate, like, I relate to that heavily, like, whereas, like, just naturally you're like, okay, yeah, it's like, I don't even want to bring that across the, like there's no chance of this happening. So so you just blew it off because, you didn't think there was ever a chance. And that's the thing is, like, again, we grew up in a family that had no, like, it's not a soccer family, had no idea what the process is. My parents both come from Mexico, they're just out here working and trying to make ends meet. So we're going through like this journey all by ourselves and stuff. And so I got lucky that I was the youngest one of the 5. So 4 older siblings, and I was lucky enough that, like, I, was able to
learn from our mistakes.
Not necessarily from your mistakes, but learn from, like, your experiences, learn from your situation, and then kind of like, and then have people around me to guide me a little bit more. So okay, so then were you still playing AYSO, Sunday League, and stuff like that during that time?
Yeah, I was, and then I got into skating.
Okay.
So I started skating, and I kind of focused more on skating now. For some reason, at one point, I wanted to like pursue that. So, because in my head, I'm just like, oh yeah, soccer will always be there. Like I'll make it.
Mm-hmm.
But then, then I think going into high school, I started to like, all right, I'm gonna start focusing on soccer. I started playing with adults, with Angel, he invited me to start playing with him. Summer going into high school, I played a game with him, and I was a D-ed and play against these adults, try to make them, just like mess around with them, and I took it. So I got the ball. I did a step over. I went back. I was gonna pass it to the center back. As I was looking back, for the people that could see this, these are my legs. This is the guy's legs running at me. Both legs. This is my knee, right? This is my knee bending. He lands like that, and my body goes like that, like bending back.
He just wanted to crack you.
Yeah, he did. And I was in the ground in pain. It just felt like a dead leg. I didn't hear a pop or anything. I just felt like a dead leg. And I had to drag, like, they kept playing like nothing. And I had to drag myself out in pain. And then, I chilled out for a bit, and then I was able to walk again. So I just thought nothing of it. That same week, we had tryouts for Estancia, for the high school. And first session, it went well. I did, like, balled out. Like that same first session, the head coach called me, the varsity coach, he called me and some other player, and he's like, yeah, like, you guys have a lot of potential. You guys don't have to come out to the tryouts. Like, you guys are in the team, basically. Like, oh, cool. Like, damn, that's sick. And then I came to the next training, and then my knee gave out. Like, I've never, like, I just, like, did, like, a sharp turn. And, I just felt the worst, like something poking through my skin. I don't know. But dude, it's the worst pain. I threw myself, grabbing my knee. I'm like, what happened? I don't know what's happening. Like, what the hell? And then, yeah, and then I went to the doctors, got X-rays. As I said, I had to get MRI. Doctor checked my knees. Like, yeah, your ACL's torn. I was what? I was like 14. So like, okay, like, so how long am I gonna be out? Like maybe like a month or like 2-3 weeks. I don't know. Like, oh yeah, so you're gonna get surgery. You're gonna be out for about 6 to 9 months. Dude, my heart dropped when you said that because at this time I'm like, wow, like I'm not gonna be able to play the high school.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to play soccer. So yeah, that was devastating. And then I think during that time I was just like, I didn't care. I got a girlfriend, so I wasn't really focused on soccer. I was more focused on the relationship. And yeah, soccer just little by little, like just started like fading away. Like it was like, I was like, whatever. Like I wasn't like really prioritizing it anymore. And yeah, and then the next year I started playing. So sophomore year, I got back in the team. I tried out. Coach was like, hey, you're good for high school, like for a varsity team, like you're good, but we're gonna put you in a freshman because it's not fair for the other players. And my mindset was like, how does that make sense? But I was just like, whatever. But I know deep down it affected my confidence, everything, bro. So my high school career was like, it wasn't the best. It wasn't what I wanted. I didn't look forward to training. I didn't look forward to games. And yeah, and then I quit the team twice. So I think towards the end of my junior year, I quit because I wasn't getting the playtime I wanted. And in the end of my senior year, I quit the team because I wanted to go work and make money. So I don't have to be asking my parents for money and stuff. So yeah, that was my whole high school.
But so you quit the first time you quit. What made you come back?
I wanted to play. Yeah. Oh, and during that time, I was trying out for other clubs because I found out about scholarships. So what I did is I go online, go on the websites, look for the team, and if they have a team, email the coach, asking him if he had tryouts, if I could come out and try out, and let them know like my they always said yes. I tried out for West Coast. I tried out for Newport Mesa. Newport Mesa really liked me, but I think during that,
Like, they didn't have your age.
yeah, they didn't have my age. I was playing like, I think they were a little younger than me, barely, because I think the deadline was July 1st.
Oh, dude, it has like the weird like.
Yeah, July 1st was like the cut.
It wasn't like 2010, 2000. Like
No.
11. It was like.
It was like July 1st was like,
Yeah.
okay. So I'm July 15th, so I just didn't barely didn't make that team. But yeah, he really liked me. He was gonna give me full scholarship, everything.
Down.
But then, yeah, and then after that, that's when I tore my ACL.
Again.
No, the first time. That was the first time.
Oh, okay.
That again.
Wait, so when you were having those club offers, what age were you at?
I was high school age, so I was like between 14 and 18, like during that time.
Oh, okay.
Or 15, 18, because I didn't my freshman year, but couldn't play.
Got it.
But yeah, I played. I don't know how, bro. I never did. I did like physical therapy, but after that, I just stopped doing it. This is I don't know.
You did physical therapy for? So like, yeah, how did you treat your recovery process?
Yeah, and then was there like anyone like giving you advice or like?
No, but the therapy process, I took it serious at first, 'cause obviously, like I don't know, like what's happening, and yeah, we went. I think it was like up until the 6 months until they cleared me fully that I went, but it wasn't consistent. It was in the beginning. It was like 3 times a week. Then they cut it down to 2 times. Then they cut it down to once every 2 weeks. And yeah, those days that I didn't go, obviously I didn't do it. I'm a kid, like
Yeah.
and they didn't like really emphasize, oh, do these exercises. They're just like, oh, you can do these.
So.
And your
Yeah,
parents
like-
didn't like force you to like
Who?
like your parents like didn't force you to do those PTs or like they didn't tell you anything?
You had to pay. I think we had to pay like $5-10 for every time I go. So they're just like, yeah, if you don't want to go, you don't have to.
Oh, okay.
But that's the thing, because I don't want to paint my parents out
No,
like
bro.
that they're like not supportive or anything.
Yeah.
They're just like, again, they have no idea what's going on. They're just being told to do what the doctor's telling them. And most of these orthopedic surgery, like I doubt you were like you just got surgery from a surgeon who just like who just the insurance covers, you know, like
okay.
the like
Well,
he like I was fortunate enough to like I like had to go from surgeon to surgeon so that I can get the one that specializes in athletes,
Yeah.
you know, and like for you, I doubt it. This guy or this
lady-
whoever did it.
Never mind. But this lady, this is my doctor, who gave my first surgery. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna use your hamstring graft, just so we can avoid the patellar tendon. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, like I don't know how you guys do surgery. Sure, guys, how you guys gonna fix it? Later on, I find out that hamstring graft, like obviously weakens your hamstring,
Yeah,
and
it's
there's no PT. Or there's no exercise in my PT that would focus on hamstring like strengthening. It was just quad strengthening and just around.
it was just like
was bad.
I think it like
I had a bad situation, and like I said, ignorance is bliss, bro. So if you, what we've always say, like you just ask people who've been in that situation, and
yeah.
they'll give you proper advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I was fortunate enough to have people like
I think when you went to get your first surgery, I told you make sure it's with your patellar, not with your hamstring, because that's rough, bro. Because that's just weakening an important part of your.
an important muscle, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think yeah. So and I mean like the biggest there's always there's I guess there's arguments to both sides, but but like for me like what I've know and what I've heard is that like I'm more likely to get patellar tendonitis, but like dude, to be honest, like I've been completely fine though. Like I haven't had to deal with any like
I know my right knee. My right knee to use my patellar, and I've never gotten any problem since.
Yeah.
It's always been my left.
yeah.
And that's because I use my hamstring.
Yeah. So okay, so then how many times did you tear your ACL?
So I tore. I tore twice, but I had to get one done again because it got loose. It's a hamstring, and I didn't know any better, and I didn't strengthen it. So it's just partly my fault, but I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 surgeries. I think I was 19 or 20 when I tore the second time. Or I had to get it done again. And then I forget what it was. Remember we went to the EDM concert in LA? You got it with my ID because you sorry.
Dude, yeah, I do.
The next day is when I tore my ACL, my right knee, because I had a game in the morning.
Oh my god.
Yeah, bro. It was all through Sunday League too.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like anything important or anything. I was talking about the clubs. So yeah, I tried out West Coast. They're like, yeah, we want you, but we want you to play the B team right now. So I didn't even like ask. I was just like, oh, you know what? Like if it's B team, I'm gonna have to pay. So I'm not gonna go anymore.
Was that the case though?
Yeah. Or I don't know. I didn't ask my parents or anything. I just, like I said, like I'm just.
No, but like, did they tell you that you had to pay?
I didn't ask.
Oh,
I just didn't go. I would assume like, oh, it's a B team
do you think it was a little bit of ego?
for sure.
You're like, I don't want to break B team.
Well, no, because in a sense I kind of understood because it was after my surgery.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, yeah, I need to obviously like I'm not at the level yet, but still, it's like I'm not gonna get a scholarship, so I.
Yeah, yeah.
And then this other team called Irvine Soccer Academy. I think this was later, like when I was 17. I tried out for them. He's like, okay, we got a scholarship for you, but we can only pay half. So you have to pay the rest of it, which it wasn't even that much. It's probably like 600 or something. And again, I was like, nah, we don't have money for that, so
Yeah.
I had to reject it. So yeah, all those times, it's all because of money. But the thing is, like, I never asked. I feel like if I were to like,
It's a lack of guidance and the lack of
yeah. So if I would have asked my parents or my sisters or something, they probably would have like tried to figure something out to help me. Or like I probably could have negotiated it more with the guy.
Yeah.
But like I said, I did all this by myself. So my parents didn't know I was going to tryouts. I just took the car. Like my dad would just let us take the car for just when we needed it. So yeah, I would just ask for it, and then I would go to the tryouts on my own without telling anyone. I know this one time I was gonna go to this was my last trial I was gonna go to. It was Slammers.
Yeah.
And I was in the parking lot, and I was just contemplating.
Yeah.
And I didn't end up going. Like I see the players showing up, and there I was just in a line. I was just looking. I'm just like,
What?
I don't know. I was just like, there's no point. Like, the same shit's gonna happen again. I'm not.
Oh, really? You felt like
I felt, dude, I gave up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just left.
Was that like one of the last like clubs you
That was
tried
the
out
last-
for?
That was the last one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How old were you there? 17? Yeah.
I was like, not even like, it was that, and then like girlfriend issues, bro. I had a toxic relationship. So there was so much shit going on. And then the part, well, my knee was, I felt fine at the time because,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, bro, it was rough. And I didn't really have anyone to talk to. So,
Yeah. I feel like that's a, yeah, I mean, we come like our siblings were like super close. We're,
but back then we never saw them because we were all,
yeah, like
we were all doing our thing.
yeah, we are our biggest support system. But the thing is that we are also, we tend to do and hold things to ourselves because, again, I don't know if it's just our upbringing or whatever, but like, we don't want to be a burden on other people. We don't like to be an inconvenience. So I think oftentimes, especially in younger ages, I think you didn't want to come to any of us about any of this because you didn't want to either be
Well,
an inconvenience.
Dude, back then, when I was younger, around that age, like the high school, I was just like mean, bro. I didn't talk to anyone.
Like growing up, dude, like this guy was like, he was like, I looked up to him so much, and like he was,
I was super emotional.
I think we all are in our family.
But I didn't control it, bro.
Yeah.
I just let it out.
Yeah, like I looked up to him a lot, and like I always wanted to be with him. I always wanted to like just be around him and stuff. And
I used to push him away, bro. That's how, like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Do you feel like
I mean that's like I guess typical like older brother.
Yeah.
and brothers.
Do you feel like why the reason why you felt like that was because your ACL injuries and then you're not being able to play soccer?
nah. I never put, like, everything with Raf, like, as far as soccer goes, like, I've always supported. I was always his number one, like.
No. Like I meant like the
Oh,
way
like
you
my
felt.
anger?
Yeah, your anger and like you isolating yourself.
It could be. Partly. I probably deep down in my mind, I was just like, I'm not gonna make it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
especially after, like, I had to get my second surgery and third surgery. It's like, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
That makes sense.
But yeah, at one point, and I think this is during that time when you were in high school and stuff, and you were in that relationship, where I remember like just feeling like, man, I hate this guy. Like I didn't like,
Yeah.
like our relationship was like a little bit bitter because I didn't like how, yeah, he said he was mean. I didn't like how mean he was. I didn't like how like disrespectful I felt he was being, and I knew it wasn't him. Like I knew it was like, I solely like blamed it on the relationship purely, but but I think it was like a combination of things for sure.
For sure,
Like,
yeah.
but yeah, I think at some point, I think when that relationship was over, I think is when we became like closer than ever, and then that's like
Yeah.
where our relationship is now, and it's just been growing more and more. But yeah, I think. Well, let's talk about now, like just like what your pursuit is now. I mean, of course, we started this without a doubt. Originally, it was athletic ascent. We
Yeah.
to this, but like, I want to ask you, like, why did we start this? Because ultimately, we started this because of you.
Right. I know.
So-
I remember when I thought of it, bro. I think I was living
So how did that? Yeah, how did that?
I was living in Laketon Beach, and I'm not too sure how, like, exactly. I was like, I know I called you,
Yeah.
and I was like, hey, let's meet up as Donche tomorrow. Let's record a video talking about, like, what we're trying to offer, what we're trying to do, which I think is still not on the, oh, it's
Yeah,
I think it's on my page.
I think we have it archived or something.
Yeah, it should be archived, but it's like me speaking to, like, the camera, talking about, like, our mission and shit.
Yeah. I remember how difficult that was to get this guy to say one line, dude.
Dude, that was so
How many times did it take?
Do it forever, dude. Just to be like, yeah, we're athletic ascent. Like, we're here to help you and guide you and make you a better player. And you just felt so
I guess just reflecting about, like what we just talked about right now, about my past experience and, like, how I didn't have anyone there. That's the main reason why we're like.
But how did you get to like, I want to make this, like I want to do
No,
this?
dude.
Like,
It's just. But we took instant, like, action right away. Like, the next morning we went and
Yeah.
did the video. But I don't really remember how, like, it came to me.
Yeah.
I remember I was in my room sitting down at night. It was like at 9 or 10, and then I called you, and then we did all that. But yeah, I don't remember. But
So what's like, so when you thought about like athletics, or without a doubt, when you thought about it, like what was your purpose for it, and what was your reasoning for it?
Well, purpose is to guide players to get them to the proper direction to whether they want to go pro or trying to play college soccer, and showing them like there's ways, especially even if you're low income, like there's avenues they can go, or there's people you could reach out to. I think that was my main thing. My main thing was especially seeing you, like how you were progressing in your career. I'm just like, yeah, bro, Raf could do it, knowing how like we grew up. Like, why can't anyone else that has the proper guidance and has the talent to do so? Like, why not? Or develop the talent to do so. That was my mentality. So, yeah, it's just helping. To sum it up, it's to help me. Yeah, help myself as a kid, basically.
Right. You just wanna help. You want
Be that
future
person that-
players to avoid what you went through, and try and put them on the right path, and provide the guidance and support that you wanted and you needed during that time. And so I remember when you approached me with it, I was like, dude, it never crossed my mind, but I was just fully focused on just training and playing, And so when you came to me with that, I was like, dude, yeah, that's like a great idea. Like that's like dope. And so like you said, we took immediate action and we started doing it, and didn't know what the hell we were doing, but we knew that we had to do something on Instagram and, start uploading some stuff. And well, let's talk about like now, like what are you doing now? Like what are you like you're coaching?
Yeah,
so
right now coaching at high school. I'm the assistant coach for the varsity team at Costa Mesa High School. I'm helping you out with the team in Slammers. It's our team. And yeah, right now I'm focused on the brand, obviously, and I want to move up, getting my coaching licenses with the USSF. So I could eventually either coach academy or coach pro. Like that's ideally, like if I want to pursue something with soccer, I want to make it big time. Like if it wasn't playing it, like I want to at least be able to be in the big stage coaching and getting victories and trophies and stuff like that. That's ideally what I want. But I feel like I have like the grit and like the mentality to do so. Now it's just the knowledge I need to like develop and stuff. But.
And I think like what we said, like when it came from you, just like an example, like us like trying to film that first video at Estancia, like it went from like dude not being able to say a single line to now you being able to do a full podcast. Like it's crazy. Yeah, you've come a long way when it comes to like just being able like to be a little bit more. They say you're naturally introverted, but I don't like. I think now people see you more of an extrovert, it's become like a big.
It takes time. You just gotta. Well, what I've heard is in order to what's the word, to prosper, to grow and like see the positive in things, you have to like go to fear.
Yeah,
you have to go to fear. Because you're at the peak point of fear, but once you go through it, and then it's next thing you know, you do it again. Like, oh, it's not the end.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have to go through mistakes because you learn from them, and you know like what not to do and what to do.
Exactly. So you get the experience, and then you realize, oh, it's not as bad as you thought.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's all of that. It's obviously insecurity with like me talking in front of the camera, because I'm not the best with my words. But yeah, just by doing it over and over, like it gets easier. And
I might have to bleep a lot from this episode.
That's fine. It's me, bro.
Yeah. I that's one thing actually though. Growing up, like some kids weren't allowed to hang out with us because their parents said that we cussed
Really?
too much.
No,
Yeah.
that's funny.
But whatever. No, okay. So right now, what coaching license do you have?
Bro, I still have my E license. So it's very recent where I just started to come back into coaching. Because there was a period, I think I was like from 23 to 25 ish. I just didn't look at soccer, nothing. Like I didn't even care about it. Maybe just like watching you play every now and then. I think that's what got my love back, because like starting to watch you. like when you're like OC and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a point where I just didn't care about soccer. That was the question again.
So what license do you have? Man?
Oh, the licensing. Yeah. So, dude, after I tore my ACL the second time, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna pursue coaching. Jerry's giving me an opportunity to like help out with the baby slammers. So I was coaching with Jerry. He encouraged me to get my license. I think I was 20 and I got my E license. I had to go to San Diego to do that. But yeah, it was a good experience, dude. At that time, I was like the most quietest person, like the most nervous person, but I still managed to do it, and I managed to get my E license because you have to perform like a presentation of like your drill and like what's working, and then they'll decide if it's like a proper session or not. It was just one drill, I think, and yeah, when I got my E license, but then I took a break, and only now, when I think Rafael was training with Magia at the time, is when you talked to the guy who was in charge of it and got me into like interning for him.
Yeah.
And that was working with college players, and that got my love back and wanting to coach again. And then out of nowhere, Victor, our goalkeeper coach, hit me up for some reason. Like I don't really talk to him like that, but he had a lot of people reached out to me about the opportunity to coach at Mesa. And
High school.
Yeah, the high school, and then I've been there since. I coached the middle school. We won back to back. Their little league that they have, we won it back to back undefeated. I had not because of my coaching, I think because the players are good. And a little bit of both because I give them freedom to express themselves. But yeah, and then by the team that with Mesa, they've been so inconsistent with the coaches, so they've had like 7 different coaches in 7 years. So they have a different coach every year. And now we're like this is my 3rd year there. And you can tell the development that the players had. And yeah, this 3rd year, I'm excited for it because now I'm at the varsity team and we have
solid team.
We have a solid team, yeah. On the field and on the bench.
Players that you've been working
with. All the a lot of these players are players I developed from the JV, so that's an exciting time.
Question, because you mentioned that. So it's like I think unless you have another question, but I have 2 final questions. One, you mentioned you give the players the freedom to play. So my question is, what's your philosophy? Like, what's your coaching philosophy?
I think you have to have a role in the game. When I mean that by expressing themselves, it's like I'm not holding them back into like, doing a step over if it's necessary, like if you can take the player on but in terms of like the rules, I try to have them build up. Final third is when you can like, okay, 1-on-1 scenarios, do your thing, do whatever you have to do to beat them, but just get to, if you can get a shot on goal, then ideally. So that's what I mean by expressing themselves. And when it comes to like the players, I let them express themselves, and I kind of express to them like, dude, you're strong. Like, oh, you're a good 6 player. Like, you're really good at reading the plays and cutting them off. Like, do that more.
Yeah.
Or, like, maybe there's times where you take a little too many touches because you're so used to trying to take players on. Just like, you gotta read the situation and know where to do it and stuff like that. So it's kind of like guiding them and like expressing their strengths and
instilling that confidence.
Instilling them, like, dude, like you're good enough to do this. Like this,
Right.
But I don't really have a philosophy. It's just more just like it's because I understand. Like when I was playing in high school, I was so restricted. You know how we talk about just like I do like my step overs or whatever and try to take players on.
Yeah, in high school, that again, going back to the nickname or Dino is like because you wanted, like you played like
that's how I played, and that's how people. That's the reason why they liked me. But like once I started playing and I do stuff like that, it's like no, don't do that. Like I remember, I think it was a CIF, so it's just like it's a regional, like this after league. I was in, and this is the defensive line. Like there's a back four, right? I had the ball, like I received the ball with like my back facing them, I take a touch out wide. There's two players coming at me. I see the gap in between, and I did like a chop. I chop in between them,
Yeah.
and I got a breakaway, and I didn't score. Like the goalie blocked my shot. After that play, the coach subbed me out,
What?
and like mad at me. And I go like sit down, and he's like, "You can do all that, but you can't finish the."
He got mad at you. You took the players.
He got mad at me.
Nah, it's crazy.
I was like, "Wow."
Yeah. Yeah. I just remember you like with that coach specifically, just wanted everything super simple.
Yeah.
He didn't want, and it was like, and that's like when I'm like what I was trying to touch on when I asked you the question was that there's certain coaches who want to take control of the game, want the game to flow exactly how they want it to flow, and don't allow that players to have that freedom to be creative, to, like you say, express themselves. So it makes sense that now, like you as a coach, you want those players to, if your style is, taking players on via step overs, do it, but just know when the right time is to do it.
Yeah. It's literally because in games, especially in high school, I don't know, like, final third when you're 1-on-1, that's probably like the best time to do that.
Yeah.
No, for me, it was always, especially playing like futsal and stuff, is like take a player on and try to get to the goal and score. That's how I grew up. But like no one really came into that.
Yeah, I just remember that coach really wanted everything to be super simple. And I think that's what made your high school career not so successful, because he just didn't prefer that style. And that's what we started to learn now, like even me, like, is that your coaches have preferences, and you may be one style of player, but it's not the style that the coach likes. So that may determine how many minutes you'll get, if you'll be on the team, if you have a spot and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a very opinionated game.
Do you feel like you're ever going to be like that type of coach where you just want your players to play your play style?
I mean, ideally, but I really just have them know the role, know the game plan, and express. Yeah, then
play their style in the model.
Yeah, and I try to, like, especially if you have like a game plan, you know where your players are, so you'd be like, okay, situations like this is how you can use your strengths. So it's just knowing your players and building the team successfully for them.
Yeah. Okay. Final question, because I know we got to wrap it up soon. What's your vision with Without a Doubt? What do you see in the near future? What do you hope for?
I'm hoping for a big facility that players of all ages can come and train, all levels. Have like some sort of area so players can do their homework, they can get mentorship, having a nutrition area so they can learn about nutrition, get the right nutrition, or just a whole facility that'll develop a proper player. And not only that, but like give them the belief to, like, whether it's like trying to pursue soccer or pursue something else in life, like just to give them the belief that whatever they put their mind to, like, it's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ideally, like,
I envision like so much with it. Like I feel like that's definitely one aspect, like that.
Dude, I wanna like a recreation of the laundromat.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, just have like a little futsal that looks exactly like how we grew up playing. And I also envision an academy team.
Yeah, eventually. I mean,
an academy team. I envision sponsoring
like
players,
training, or elite players, like just stuff like that.
I envision giving scholarships for college.
That's a big one. That's a big one. Being able to sponsor kids. Yeah, even for like club, like we could sponsor a whole club that needs the income. And
again, just players in positions that we were in that need that financial help, that be able to sponsor them so they can play, be able to give scholarships so that they can fulfill their needs in college.
Dude, eventually even like scouting, like get players scouted and try to push them into the right clubs or something.
Yeah.
Help them out.
There's a lot, but
So
yeah,
much, yeah.
ultimately, what we've learned from your story is that we want to help people and help players that were in your situation. And from learning from everyone's stories that we're getting on this in this podcast is like help players that were in all of our situations, just so that they can maybe have a better. For me, ideally, I've like for like our nephews, like for example, Alex, like and Max, two of our nephews who are ballers right now. I would want them to have a way better career than I have right now. That's my dream for them. Is that this is what they want to do, is just set them up so that they can do better than I did. And for my future kids, and so that's like kind of the idea for kids who step into this, step into our realm. I don't know. Step into, without a doubt, that's what our goal is, I guess.
Ideally, just be positive, impact towards anyone that interacts without a doubt.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Sweet. I thought that was solid, dude. You got anything else?
Yeah,
I'm good.
No, you asked my question, so
Oh yeah.
it's all good.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that was another episode of Without a Doubt podcast. Michael, you want to give your tag? Or,
Yeah, Miguel Espinoza.x.
the X. All right. All right. We'll see you guys in the next episode.